Let's be honest, y'all. Let's be real. More people are concerned with all the other storylines and side characters than they are with She-Hulk. I know I am. What's good, everybody? Welcome to Hope Views. Thank you for clicking the thumbnail. My name is Corey, and today we're going to be talking about She-Hulk Episode 5. I want to be quite honest, want to be real straight up when I talk about it. I do think She-Hulk is an all right show. It's good. It's not the best show ever. And I think Episode 5 was actually better than Episode 4. With all that being said, though, I must say, let's be honest, y'all. Let's be real. More people are concerned with all the other storylines and side characters than they are with She-Hulk. I know I am, because as I watch the episodes, I'm just thinking to myself, are they gonna tell us anything else about the Hulk and his Sakaar storyline with that ship? Do all these Wong cameos actually mean something? When is Daredevil gonna show up? Because I'm waiting on that to happen. Is any of this going to tie into the movies at all? And then finally, you get to the point where you ask yourself about She-Hulk and her characters and that crew of guys that jumped her and who was in charge of them, who was the boss. That type of stuff then finally comes to your mind. But all the other things, Daredevil, Wong, the cameos, and the little nugget about Wolverine fighting in a bar, those things are the things that make the show super interesting. She-Hulk herself is just not as interesting, but maybe that's because, again, action is not the main strong suit of the show. So whenever there is any kind of action, it's kind of like, not that impressive. I like this episode more than I liked episode 4, and it was, I feel like, because there was no action and the show just kind of focused on doing what it does, which is having a few funny little goofy moments and giving us some more world building around the She-Hulk character. The fact that she has co-workers in the firm now that actually see her as an equal, and she's able and capable to do things herself, as she's shown with the Blonsky case. But there's other people who are just as good as her that, have to step in and do for her and kind of fill out her world. So I like that element of having her coworker represent her in this trial. It was cool to see. The fact that Titania exists and she is super powered enough to take a punch from a Hulk. She burst through a wall, but we never explored that type of stuff. That's a bit of a mystery. I would like to see and hear more stuff about that, but who's to say? If they ever touch on those things, I think those things might make the show a bit more interesting. I like the idea that they're actually changing the worlds a bit, like Daredevil and Charlie Cox, who does interviews, he loves the character of Daredevil so much apparently. But this guy has spoken and he has said things along the lines of this new Daredevil Born Again that's gonna be coming to Disney Plus is not really a season 4 of Daredevil, it's more like season 1. It's like a rebranding, reboot of the character. He's just an actor who's carrying over. And they've already made changes because we see the suit of Daredevil show up at the end with the golden helmet. And it looks much better here, well-lit scenarios than it did in all the little mock-ups that people did online. So it's cool to see. I like to see it. But that character has me more intrigued. And it's cool that they're actually, planting seeds of change already in the She-Hulk show, because there was a special guy who made suits for Daredevil on his show that was on Netflix. Now we're gonna see this person making suits. And again, here I am talking long about Daredevil and not much about She-Hulk. But that's just, I feel like the show is kind of almost like a stepping stone, because I'm sure if we went back and really paid attention and if we knew comics and all the things that were in the comics, we would probably see other people's suits and other heroes be nodded to in the background of that character's little workshop. So that was cool enough, but the world building and all the other cameos and all the other nuggets dropped, those things continue to be the thing that drives the show, for me at least. It's cool to see the cameos from different characters. I like seeing Wong show up. I like, eventually when we get Daredevil, I will enjoy seeing that. I like seeing the Hulk show up and do his things. But the show it's not really carried by the cameo appearances. The cameos sometimes elevated, but also there's other times where those cameos serve not much purpose. I think the first Wong appearance and the Abomination appearance, all those things did well with the show. But then you get the second Wong appearance and it's not as much of an elevation. It was a cool little storyline that she helped him out legally, but to say that he elevated that episode, I don't feel like he did. And the evidence of that, to me, is looking at episode 5 and seeing that, hey, this is actually a little bit better than what we got last week in episode 4. So not gonna say that the show is dependent on cameos, but the cameos tend to be a bit more interesting, even though episode 5 was good and solid without any cameos. I'm guessing that's pretty much all my thoughts for the episode. You know, again, a decent episode, not a whole lot of action, not a whole lot of things happening, but cool to see her storyline gets played out. Like, she's coming into her own, embracing the character, getting a super suit to go under her clothes and new form-fitting clothes instead of her in the huge suit made to fit the She-Hulk only, and then she shrinks down to the small, little, tiny Tatiana Maslany, real-life Jen Walters character. So looking forward to seeing a new look from She-Hulk moving forward, you know, with the new clothes that this guy has made for her. Looking forward to seeing her in her like uniform with the little gloves, and it's like a bodysuit, almost like a weightlifting style suit. That's what it looks like a powerlifter, female powerlifter suit. So looking forward to seeing that stuff, hopefully in some action scenes. Hopefully we get like that Wrecking Crew come back around and we see who the boss is in the coming episodes, as well as seeing that Daredevil cameo that they've been talking so much about, and they started teasing in the last few weeks. Like, looking forward to seeing that thing all come to fruition here with She-Hulk, and get a good wrap up to this story, because it's to me, it's just about time that, let's get the big things going and get it out the way. I'm ready. Let me know if you're ready. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.